Hey everyone, Brent Oliver, pastoring both Southview Church in Kokomo as well as Delphi First Assembly of God. As we're all quarantined, Tammy and I talked about the possibility of doing something like this. You know, yesterday was Resurrection Sunday. Today we all celebrate and we love all of that. And it seems like that the big push ends then. But honestly, for Jesus and his disciples, it was really just the beginning. The reality is what happened is that once Jesus rose from the dead, it kind of started a countdown. His ministry had been preparing them for the time period where he would be gone and they would take over and be ready to do what they're supposed to do, which was to preach the gospel and make disciples of all nations. So we're going to take a look here in the next 50 days. Why 50? Because from Easter to Feast of Pentecost, Day of Pentecost, was 50 days. And what was Jesus doing during that time? What was he teaching? What was he preparing them for? Because the most exciting thing was going to happen to them 50 days later. You see, the reality is, let's look at a couple scriptures here. And each day our plan is just to take a few minutes. And as I finish each day, Tammy will be leading us in a course of worship. But in Mark chapter 12, verse 30, it says, "Love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind, and with all your strength." It's one of the commandments of Jesus. And then in John chapter 14, both verses 15 and 16, he says, "If you love me, you will obey what I command. And I'll ask the Father, and he'll give you another counselor who will be with you forever." And then down in verse 18, he says, "I will not leave you as orphans. I will come to you." You see, once Jesus rose from the dead, he was going to leave this earth. And when he left the earth, he just wanted to ensure his disciples, when I leave, you're not going to be alone. When I leave, I'm going to send my Spirit, the Comforter, to be with you, and not just with you, but in you. That's the scriptures we're going to be looking at in the days ahead to help you to have an understanding of how vital this was. You see, when Jesus was ending his ministry on earth, what he was doing, his first priority of life was to teach them the first commandment. And that was to love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength. So let me encourage you today to love the Lord that way and to love others as well. Jesus said that if we love him, he says we will obey him. And if we obey him, then this great commandment is fulfilled as we pursue the Great Commission. Great Commission being going in all the world and making disciples. Right now, you probably feel pretty inadequate what he asks you to be and to do. He's called you to live what seems to be an impossible standard while accomplishing what seems to be an impossible task. The question we ask is, can we do it? And the reality is, on our own, no, not at all. But Jesus says, if you love me, you'll obey me. And then he said, if you obey me, he would ask the Father. When he ascends to the Father, he would ask the Father, and he said, who would give you another counselor to be with you forever. That word counselor there, the King James Version says comforter, is the Greek word parakletos, which means one called alongside to help. So he's basically saying that while I may be leaving, I'm going to send you someone right alongside you to help you. You won't see me by flesh, but you will know me by spirit. This will be, the Holy Spirit will be the very presence of Jesus with you and in you. Jesus said, I'll come to you. He meant that he would return after he went away. After he went away, he died, resurrected, and ascended to heaven. He would come back to you and I as followers of Jesus, as followers of his. And his personal presence would be with us. He won't leave us comfortless. He won't leave us as if we're orphans. He won't leave us without his help. We won't be helpless. Jesus would not leave us to struggle through the trials of life alone, nor would he ask us to try to live out his purposes for us without his help. He wouldn't ask us to try to become what we can't become on our own, because he's going to help us to become that as he's with us every day. You see, his presence with his followers began with his resurrection and continues in a new way with the coming of his Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit is the presence of Jesus, which was to come. Day by day, Lord willing, in the days ahead, we're going to be looking at scriptures and studying this to help you have an understanding of the vital ministry of the Holy Spirit and how important he is to you in your personal daily lives. And so now, let's just take a moment of worship as Tammy leads us, and she'll conclude our time together today. God bless you.
Bless you, and we hope that you will join us tomorrow as we continue 50 days to Pentecost daily devotions. God bless.